Hey, what's up, guys? It's Richie from Boston. Today is the 29th of March, 2022, and it's fairly early. I just went and got parts for my truck, parts that I broke when I was upgrading my vehicle. So I slept last night on a heating pad like an old guy because I could barely walk. I thought for some reason that tweaking my back to the point where walking was difficult and I couldn't walk without you knowing that something was wrong with my back. I thought that going to the woods on my mountain bike and doing twice the amount of miles that I usually do, including all the really tough trails.
Turn around and keep going. This goes. Ooh, that back is nice. I remember this. Yep. This is a nasty little piece of trail. Come on, man.
Was a good idea. And I did 20 miles on the mountain bike in the woods. And then that night, I walked through the town in the dark, like 4 or 5 miles up all these hills and such, thinking that this would all be beneficial for my tweaked back. Well, what it did is it made it exponentially worse. Like, I tried to get out of bed yesterday morning, and this has never happened in my life. And a lot of things have happened to me in this particular life. I couldn't get out of bed, and I was scared. I'd never had this happen to me before, ever. I couldn't get out of bed. It took me forever to get out of my bed. So I put this heating pad thing on my back. That helped. I took a Motrin. That helped. It just sucked. So last night I slept on a heating pad, and I woke up, and it wasn't as bad. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't as bad, and I'll take that. So there is that. At any rate, there's a guy on BitChute called Jim Crenshaw. I don't know who he is, but him and I often post the same videos. If I happen to mirror a video, I usually get it from his channel. Well, he posted a video from Extreme Reality Chick, and if you don't know who she is, you probably should know who she is. Yeah, I'm in a rotary. Just pull right in front of me, the Greek, in your Mercedes. Unbelievable. Extreme Reality Chick does really good videos. She's done them for a long time. I think YouTube finally pulled her channel down. I think she has extremerealitychick.com. At any rate, she put up a video, and yesterday I was taking a long ride to go see somebody that I sponsor, a kid that doesn't stay clean very well at all. He's got a predilection for smoking crack cocaine, even though his body is turned against him. Whatever. I had a long ride, and I listened to her video, and I love the video because it reminded me what made me know that the Bible was real. Now, a lot of people say this. A lot of people say this, that, kings and queens, popes, etc., everybody's had their hands in the King James Bible. And the biggest thing I have a problem with is the word Lord. And I just replace it with God. That's all. Because the word Lord is in the Bible a lot. A lot. You know what I mean? So there's that. But here, let me try to stay on track. It's early. I'm driving. Blah blah blah. The thing that made me realize the Bible was true was simply opening the Bible to the very first page, Genesis 6. There were giants in those days. And there will be again when the Son of Man returns. And I looked at that and said, you know what? If this thing is true, let me see if I can find out if there actually were giants or this is just crazy talk. Well, once you go down that rabbit hole for giants, I will tell you this right now, period. There's no two ways around this. There is hundreds of thousands of times more evidence of giants walking on almost every continent on this earth, physical proof, than there is for evolution, the Big Bang, outer space, politics. You know what I mean? Like, there is more proof than anything at all. And in the video that she did, she covered what I've covered over the years as well, is when people dug up bones of giant humans, they brought them to the Smithsonian because that's what you do. You know what I mean? Like, that's the right thing to do. You're a farmer. You live off the land. You just got to America. You're digging up the field. You're trying to make a life for yourself, etc., etc. While you're plowing the field, you come across a leg bone of a human being that's 3.5 feet long. Well, what do you do with it? You take it to the Smithsonian Institute because that's what you do. That's the right thing to do.
And there were all sorts of stories that came out of Iraq back in 2002 when the military went in there. Several nations' military went in there. They said that one of the first places they went was to the museum, and they started hauling out artifacts. Some of the military guys, some of the whistleblowers said enormous artifacts that were the remains of Gilgamesh. And then the next year, in 2003, it just kind of went public that, oh, they found the tomb of Gilgamesh in Iraq. The Epic of Gilgamesh, written by a Middle Eastern scholar in 2500 BC, recorded the life of the ruler of the city Uruk, from which Iraq gets its name. So this was the area of Gilgamesh, and they said they found his tomb. And guess who found it? Germans. Now, a German-led expedition had discovered what is thought to be the entire city of Iraq, including where the Euphrates once flowed, the last resting place of its famous king, King Gilgamesh. So again, confirming what Enoch recorded about the disembodied spirits of these giants. Revelation 9:14 records that there are 4 angels bound at the great river Euphrates that will be loosed at the end of the age. It said to the 6th angel who had the trumpet, release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates. So that begs the question, did they go in there just to loot the museum? Did they go in there to get the remains of Gilgamesh? Because Gilgamesh is recorded as being 2/3 God and 1/3 human. So are they retrieving DNA? We all know that it's sort of common knowledge that the Smithsonian has been covering up all of these giant skeletons discovered around the world. Even here in America, there's tons of stories, entire books about it, tons of books about it. People's families who had turned over these artifacts they had found, for example, during the gold rush, and there was a lot of mining going on, and there were tons of these artifacts, and right here close to me by the Cahokia Mounds. So naturally, people call the museum, they call the authorities, they go through the proper channels, they turn them over to the Smithsonian, and they disappear.
Now, if you find a bone like that in, like, say, someplace like Sardinia, Italy, Europe, you bring it to the Vatican, because that's what you do. Well, here's the problem. The Vatican and the Smithsonian are basically collection agencies, warehouses for the elite, the Illuminati, the people that are foisting all this new world order on us right now. And they've covered up the fact that there were giants on the earth. Because if you understood that there were giants on the earth, first thing right off the rip is evolution's wrong. Because if there were giants on the earth, then evolution's going backwards. You see what I mean? So they hide that. Second thing is, if you can show people that there were actually giants on the earth, I mean, the proof is absolutely everywhere. Why do you think I spent so much time going to places like the Great Serpent Mound and all the mounds all over the United States? Every time they've dug one of these things up, they found giant bones. Extreme Reality Chick goes into Gilgamesh and the Epic of Gilgamesh. That's just old literature. It's a story. Well, the weird thing about that is I did a video several years ago where they literally found the tomb of Gilgamesh. You don't have a tomb and a burial chamber for something that wasn't real. Do you see what I'm saying? These guys have hidden this from people for so long, it's unbelievable, and people just will not look at this information. And it was very refreshing to see Extreme Reality Chick bring this whole topic up yet again yesterday. Because understanding that there were giants on the earth and will be again when the Son of Man returns is a huge, huge bullhorn telling you that God is indeed real. The words in the Bible are indeed real. Were some of them changed? I don't care. I don't care. Because if you read the Bible, and now this is what I just started doing. I'm reading the Bible and I'm praying that I can read the Bible, not just as a book or something like, oh, I got to read the Bible, I got to get this done. I'm trying to ask God to allow me to read it as I'm supposed to. I don't know how else to say that, to be perfectly honest, but how I'm supposed to. I want the words to affect me. I started reading yesterday, and I read several more pages than I planned on. You know what I mean? I was reading about Sarah and Abraham, and they're having a child at 99 years old. Long story longer is, it's astonishing to me how many people believe in scientism and don't even realize that that is their religion. They don't get it. But they don't believe in God, because science said there was no God. And the way science was able to get away with this was exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm holding a phone that allows me to check my emails, do bank accounts, videotape, track me. It allows people that I can't see to tell who I'm sitting next to from wherever. You know what I'm saying? It's the ultimate type of technology, and technology has been foisted upon people as a miracle. I mean, if they can build a cell phone that can do all these things, of course they know if there were giants in those days. Don't listen to that. That's just a myth. That's a wives' tale. It's old literature. Don't listen to that. Problem is, the proof was absolutely everywhere. People were literally digging up giant bones, skulls, 6 fingers, 6 toes, double rows of teeth, etc., etc. What they tell you were the what's the word? Seriously, I can't think of it. The Neanderthals. They show you the bones of the Neanderthals. Those weren't a race between monkeys and man. Now remember, they never found a missing link, because you can't find a missing link. There is no evolution, there is no Big Bang, God created us, etc., etc. But what they present to us as Neanderthals are actually really old humans who just kept growing and growing, and their bones got stronger and stronger. Not like us. Not like us. I used to listen to Trey Smith all the time, until Trump showed up, and suddenly he thought politics was real and Trump was sent from God, and etc. I fell right off the wagon. I couldn't believe it. And, you know, it happens. It happens. I watch a lot of people that are really, really well-versed at researching the Nephilim, etc., all that type of stuff from, you know, 𝗦𝗵𝗵𝗵, portals, all these things. People that know the Bible, people that know giants, all this stuff, and then suddenly they somehow think that these guys are hiding the very first page of the Bible from humanity, but politics is real. I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's either you're awake or you're not, but whatever. At any rate, Trey Smith used to say back in the day that we are a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, going all the way back to Adam and Eve. Do you see what I mean? And every time they make a copy, we lose a little something. And that should be self-evident right now. It should be totally self-evident right now. You know what I mean? Because it is astonishing to me how dumb, uninterested, and sheepish people are. They just go along. You have to do this. You got it. I'll do it. I've never been like that, ever at all. To my own detriment. You know what I mean? Do this or we'll throw you out of school. Do this or we'll throw you out of the military. Do this or we'll throw you in prison. Do this or we'll throw you in jail. Do this or we'll divorce you. Do this or you'll die. I've never, ever followed that path. And chances are good, neither of you. So, long story, longer than ever, there were giants in those days and will be again when the Son of Man returns. When Jesus Christ returns, the world is going to be eating and drinking and taking in marriage and marrying toasters and identifying as a he or a she or, hi, I'm Richie from Boston, but I'm also a female runner. You know, like just, we're here. And you need to understand, the Word of God is real. The Word of God is true. And the way I decided to finally come out and tell people that I'm a Christian, meaning I know there's a God. I know that Jesus Christ came here and was brutally taken out. Brutally. I know that. I can't unknow that. I have no doubt about it. I pray to God all day, every day. You know, I once made a comment saying, how do you pray unceasingly? Well, I've figured it out. You see what I'm saying? You need to understand that we were picked, we were chosen, we were supposed to be here, and God has a plan for every one of us. In the last several days, I find myself praying to God as earnestly as I know how. As earnestly as I know how. It's all I got. And asking to reveal His plan for me, because I would hate to leave this earth. Because that's coming soon. I can feel it. I would hate to leave this earth and not have accomplished the plan that God had set forth for me, because I lived by my own will and not by His. At any rate, I'll leave links below. Richie from Boston. I'm out.